Now, we as a people have been walking around for generations. Sometimes we forget why we walk, but we do it nonetheless. Now, sometimes we walk on roads, sometimes in the mountains, sometimes the forest. It is quite a conundrum to figure out where we humans walk, as there's really no place we don't walk when we go around. But what exactly is walking? And how do we do it? For which purpose do we keep walking? And where the hell am I? These are all questions we're gonna answer in a little something I'd like to call Fuck Around and Find Out. So in today's segment, walking. Now I was thinking of doing like some nice editing and shit, giving it a logo and all of that. Well, let's face it, when walking, the most important aspect of fucking around and finding out is to actually fuck around and find out. Now, an important part to remember before you start walking, which I have already done a bit, is your legs. Preferably, they will be sturdy enough to walk. Now, in some cases, they may have lost that capability. However, thanks to ingenuity, we have established new modern things, such as a stick, of which can help you walk. Holy fuck, that's a really cool stick. So, when you find a really cool stick, it's important to walk with it. Really, just walk the stick. Because that's also part of... Ooh, it's shaking. The stick got mad, I'm sorry stick. But yes. Once you have acquired a stick, in fact, the stick can sometimes get caught and stuff, which means it can be a bit more inconvenient to walk, but that's okay. When the stick has been found and its power unveiled, we all realize that walking is just as much about the journey. Now, the journey of walking is an exciting endeavor in itself. You just drag yourself into a forest and you walk. Sometimes you realize that the stick, though good, can also be used to throw at your opponents. And when you do this, you grab the stick. Now, it'll be like walking, but in the air. So you just yoink the stick. And back to nature it has walked. Wherever it is now, I do not know. And thus, it only makes sense for us to keep walking. Because that's what this entire thing is about. When you fuck around, you find out. And sometimes you have to fuck nature to find out. Hold up, whoa. So, anyway, you keep walking now that you've found a path. Earlier I didn't have a path, I made a path. But now that I have a path, I might as well use it. So let's zoom out a bit. I cannot, never mind. Let's just enjoy the walking, shall we? As this is an important aspect. Now, of course, I've gone over a bit of the steps of walking. Purely because when you walk, you have to use the momentum and make sure that the friction isn't too high for you to not be walking. It's that simple, really. Which is why we walk. Now, how you do things. You can walk in a lot of ways. You can walk on that rock, but you can also jump onto the rock. And if you fall, that will be very inconvenient. Which is why I'm now going to safely demonstrate how not to walk. Now, when you start your walking, And you remember that you are, as a matter of fact, walking. You realize that, well, let's put the phone on a bit and give us all some little perspective. So, walking essentially includes using both your legs. Now I realize, if you fail at walking, you may fumble, as you do when you simply stop them by walking in a bad manner. You will then end up on a thing called the ground, so your legs will not be within the intended place. That is of course inconvenient, which is why when you walk it's important to look at where you're walking, to make sure that you don't fall over. Now, what do you say we keep walking? Bah! I appear to have lost contact for a second now, but don't worry, we're still in the area. I blame the spice, also known as the small brown slugs. Now this is also an example of walking. However, unlike us walking with legs, this thing is walking very slowly by using a membrane of sorts, I think. I'm not entirely sure how he walks, to be honest. I'm not a biologist. I am merely walking myself. It appears the camera needs a bit of a cleaning. Come back to us. Oh. And that's what it's like to walk when you lose your eyesight. Now, thankfully, we have regained our eyesight, not hindsight. I don't know. Anyway, this is a big stick. This big stick has walked by falling over in a wrong manner, clearly not adequate in its walking. So, how do we keep walking in a more adequate manner? I don't know. Frankly speaking, I wish I did. But that is a story for another time. Instead, I'll just keep walking, because that's what this is about. It's about fucking walking. And honestly, what better way to describe fucking around and finding out than walking? I know my legs are not the most nice things in the world. They are filled with a thing called socks. And my shoes may not be the best in the world. But they are also filled with a thing called socks. So, though it may suck, I do enjoy the walk in these. Anyway, let's keep walking. You can't just stand around forever, you have to keep it up. Keep walking, you know. The world was not created for us to not roam it. Yes, I could be inside watching Minecraft videos on Wikipedia. But instead, I am outside walking. And sometimes the focus on this thing is kind of... I blame it on the Swiss Confederation. So, we are back with the walking. Now, before the camera cut out, I found a rock. This rock has paint on it. Now, you might think, is that blood? Did someone die here? No, at least not as far as I am aware. According to my knowledge, they have these things along walking paths in the forest to mark a trail. Now, when you see this, you know that there's a trail, because the obvious two lines wasn't a good enough indication. You need to paint the rock, because that's how you know that it's not just any trail, but it's a trail that rocks. I'm sorry, I get a bit anxious when thinking about rocking trails, which is why my hands are shaking. It has nothing to do with my blood sugar, so don't you worry about that. Anyway, as we keep walking in this wonderful forest, you will realize that I've been doing this for about 20 minutes, though not all of which has been recorded. Now, I could be lying, and you wouldn't know. But why would I be lying on a video? This is the internet. Oh, yeah, I guess it will be when it gets out there. Or when I get out of here. I don't know if I ever will. However, this is the fun of walking. You fuck around and you find out how by simply using your legs in the forest. But alas, I have walked plenty and now I require sustenance. This sustenance break is brought to you by Sulu, a very nice soda that will help refurbish my energy so that I may keep walking. Anyway, let's open up this thing. Okay. I'm gonna just hold you between my legs. Oh, fuck. Okay, and then we just... Ta-da! Ah, sorry about that, but now we have it, and now we may drink it. Fuck, I was thirsty. Anyway, now we put the lid back on. And we put the thing in our pocket. Because you should never throw away bottles in the wild when you're walking. As that may be a trap of which could lure more people towards your location by tracking your scent. And I don't want them to find me just yet. So, thus we keep walking. The important aspect of this is to never let your faith falter. Now, I had to put that many pauses in there because I was thinking about walking, which is what we will be doing on these rocks because the leaves are lava. Now, you might say, no they aren't, they're just leaves. But I say, use your imagination when walking, and you will have a good time when walking. Now, if you leave the imagination behind, you will end up in the lava and die. On that note, thank you for watching. I will maybe see you later if I ever find myself out of this forest. We can pray, but we may not find answers. So, I think I'm gonna send you off that way to check if the leaves are safe. So you do that and I'll see you later. Oh.